Thank you for tuning into your love read. Hello, Virgo. I forgot to say that. Hello, Virgo. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the They Lima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive Oracle card, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. My nose is a little stuffy, so I apologize if I sound a little weird. I'm going to do relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. This is actually just kind of ringing in my head right now. This happens from time to time. Sometimes the sides are flipped. So the side I'm reading for Virgo may be more pertinent for your partner and vice versa. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. Ace of Swords at the bottom here. So communication should be happening, and I feel like it is. From what I know of Capricorn. Why am I in the Capricorn mode? I don't know. From what I know of Virgo, and Capricorn's also Earth, but Virgo seems to talk with purpose. Like when they have something to say, like it's not like they can't have a good time. It can be a lot of fun, definitely. But if they've decided they need to say something, it seems like they come forward and say it. But it's one of those things where they feel, if you feel like you need to say something, you will say it because you feel like it needs to be said. So even if something's a little rough, it'll kind of eat at you and start eating at you more and more until you finally push it forward if you feel like it's pertinent to the situation. That's what I'm understanding with Virgo. So let me know in the comments below if you think that's right or that's not right, based on what you've experienced as a Virgo. Because I feel like Virgo can hold back a little bit and sometimes take their time bringing something forward, but when they feel like something needs to be said, it'll just keep building and building until finally they say something because they feel like it's important to. They need to. That's what I understand anyway. So let me know. The Wheel of Fortune is turning for your partner, and I'm getting that, and I see it bringing you some stress. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune turn for your partner, but I feel like it's a fortunate turn of events. It feels actually good. But their challenge is to enjoy this turn with you and not in spite of you. So in other words, they need to include you in this turn that's going into their favor and not just go along what they want and not realize how this is affecting you. Because when I feel when it first turns, when the wheel turns, and I feel like it might be even something where your partner maybe gets a promotion or something like that that's going to take them away from you more, or they're not going to be as home as much and you're not going to see them as much. And I'm getting this Ten of Wands. Your first experience with the Ten of Wands in this situation is the anticipation of what's coming next. The first experience you have with the Ten of Wands is also connected here with the Hermit card. You're really trying to wait a minute, what does this mean? I understand it's good for them. This is something they want. This is a positive thing. But what does this mean for our relationship? They seem to get home a little late now. They used to get home, for example, at 5, but they've been getting home 5:30, 6 o'clock lately. I'm thinking it's going to be 7:38 the way we're going now. Maybe sometimes in the weekends they're going to be busy. So I feel like what you're looking at this is kind of cutting into your relationship a little bit more. It's technically a good thing, but you're cautious or curious if it's good for the relationship. Alright, so there's heavy energy there. It's concerning you. And I feel like this is where we're coming in again with the Virgo. Virgo will say something if they feel they need to. If it keeps egging at you and bothering you, it will come forward. There's a lot of I'm getting the yawns, the hiccups. This is not easy for you is what I'm getting. Because I feel like you have this Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups in your spiritual spot. I don't feel at first you're saying anything. But again, this is building. Over time, you keep thinking about it, and it's bothering you, and it's bothering you, and it's bothering you, and it's bothering you. I feel like you will say something. Because of... I'm feeling you will. But I'm seeing even though Virgo will bring something forward, you'll bring it forward at the right time, and you'll bring it forward very peacefully is also what I'm getting. You're not looking to start a fight. You're just kind of just so you know, this is what I'm seeing. This is where this looks like it's going. let's just talk about it to see if this is what's really happening. I feel that's your energy coming in. Let's just talk about this, just to address what I'm feeling, what I'm worried about. But you come forward in a peaceful manner. Let's just address it. Let's just talk it out. See if it's really going to happen this way or not. You're not coming forward like, I don't want, I do want. I don't feel that. I feel like this is what I'm seeing. Is this really what's happening? And this is what I'm concerned will come of it. I'm concerned I won't see you as much. And like, how are we going to balance that out? Because you got harmony coming in with you, and you also have the Ten of Pentacles. You understand the wheel is turned in their favor. You're not looking to take that from them. You just want to enjoy that with them. And like, all right, now that I see this coming forward, what does this mean for our relationship? Because you mean a lot to me, and I'm in this relationship because I like seeing you. I like experiencing you. I like you around, you know. I like my partner around. So where do we see ourselves going now that you're getting involved in this wheel turning your way? Now I'm seeing like your partner has the Emperor card. Don't get caught up in the gender, of course, with any of these cards. But the Emperor with the Harvest card. And what I'm getting with this is they're trying to look at a way where they can do everything. Where they can keep the relationship going well, but they can also get what they want here with this situation. They're just having a hard time at first seeing it the way you're seeing it. It's very important that you bring forward what you're feeling and how you're viewing it. Because the way your position and how you're viewing the situation, they're just not seeing it, but they need to. And I feel like this could be the difference between like for example, I feel like you already see the pitfalls, like either if it's a time thing or a resource thing or whatever it is, you're seeing things that could go against the relationship or make the relationship a little harder or make it a little less where you're going to be a little less connected for one reason or another. You're seeing it. The thing is that where this is stressing your relationship, this is also going to stress some other relationships for your partner too that mean a lot for them. Like if you have children or their family members, or if they have close friends they're trying to stay in contact with. I'm seeing this is not only going to affect your relationship and how much time they have to spend with you, it's going to affect all these other things too. And when you bring this forward, your partner's going to first realize, oh yeah, I got to make sure my relationship stays good because this means a lot to me too. I want to make sure I maintain this. But also, they're going to it's going to click in fairly quickly like, oh, it's affecting my relationship, but it's also reflecting this other relationship and this friendship and that family member. Like, it's kind of like it's clicking in all at once. Like, oh, yeah, I want this, but this is going to be a bigger change than I was really looking at. I wasn't thinking about all these other aspects that are going to be affected this heavily. Because it's going to take them a minute to really get their ducks in a row. When I'm getting the King of Swords here coming onto the situation, like I feel like first the Emperor comes in. I feel like you help them be aware in the Emperor state of like all the different ways this is going to affect them. Yes, it's a good turn. It's a turn of the wheel in their favor. Yes, that's true. But how do they let this wheel turn? How do they enjoy this favorable outcome or favorable moment without, having problems in other areas? And it takes them a minute to get together and think like, wait, what do I need to do? How am I going to hold on to this? How am I going to keep all these relationships happy and still be happy with what I'm getting with this favorable turn of events? You're looking to help them figure it out. Again, you have the Ten of Pentacles. You're about the stability. You want them to have this. You do. You're not looking to take anything from anybody. But you're like, wait a minute. We got to think about a way we can have it so you can do what you need to do and you can keep all these relationships, including the one with me, very happy. You're bringing it forward at a great time is what I'm also getting. Because the wheel turning right now, this is setting up how this situation will go forward. So it's almost like some people get into, for example, if it's a promotion, just for argument's sake, they go into gung-ho and they're just like, anytime they want me, I have to be there. If they want my weekends, I have to give them my weekends. If they want me to stay there or overnight even, I have to stay there to make sure I prove that I was the right choice. Some people get really gung-ho and they get a little out of control. But if your partner sees this ahead of time and they balance this is a big challenge because I feel like I have my own thoughts about this, but sacrificing your life for a business, I just don't think that's a good thing. But that's just me. So you got to do what's right for you. But balancing it, honoring the business and the job you have, but also making sure you have enough with personal things and balancing that out. When you make obligations to personal things, you don't like make that second rate. You make that first choice and you keep it even. You know what I mean? Like if you say you're going to spend this weekend with your family, you make sure you hold to that. If the business tries to push on you, hey, you're going to have to do this weekend. No, I'm not, because I said I was going to do this, but I can give you something else. That can be very hard for people to tell a business no, especially when a business will get very nasty sometimes and be like, well, if you're not here now, well, maybe you were the wrong choice for this position. I don't think that's right, but there's a whole thing with that. The thing is, if they set up this pattern in the very beginning and they put their schedule out there ahead of time, what they plan to do, it should work copacetically. It should be fine. The short of it is, you bringing it forward now has a greater chance of success down the road, because your partner should get in that mindset already to honor family commitments. And like when I'm connecting this in a relationship way, I feel like you're a family. So if you're just kind of dating, or like you're just living together or whatever, and you don't consider it that, that's how it feels. So it feels like a family connection to me. So if you're technically not married, I still feel like there's a family connection between you and your partner. Good? Good. You are not overbearing on this situation at all. But I do feel you might the nagging. I don't feel like you're nagging. You might question if you're nagging at times, because I feel you bringing it back around. You'll notice you got the Page of Pentacles with the Success card. So there's another way this is coming in. It's not nagging to just bring it up and remind your partner about it once in a while. But on the other hand, be careful to not make it a nagging situation where you're doing it every day. Like once a week-ish, just checking base, like how's that going? I don't think that's nagging personally. Once a week doesn't seem like it's a bad thing. 2 to 3 times a week, you might be pushing your luck. So they're saying it's not nagging to check up on the situation once a week, but be careful not to let it fall into nagging if you get into a pattern where 2 to 3 times or every day. Like every day, that's nagging. Every day is definitely nagging. But like once a week, like some people, I've actually seen them curtail themselves with this habit, where they'll put it in their phone. For example, Wednesdays, they'll allow themselves to ask on Wednesdays, or so it's not so predictable. They'll ask about it on a Wednesday, and then they'll put a reminder in their phone not to ask again until next Wednesday, or maybe after next Wednesday. So this week you ask Wednesday, next week you ask on Friday. So then you let a whole week pass, and then the following Monday, like a full week has passed, and then the following Monday maybe you ask again. You know what I mean? You're just keeping it out there random. You're trying to keep a week in between when you're asking. It's not nagging to keep an eye on the situation, but if you're constantly, day after day, or 2 to 3 times a week even asking, that could become a problem. Just be aware of it. They're saying you know when it becomes nagging. They're saying you know. Your partner has all these cards here: Justice, Psychic Protection, and Study. So they're not going to be able to just figure this out in 2 seconds. They're not going to be able to do this even in a month, is what I'm getting. It's going to be a process over time. I also feel like that's where you kind of in that weird quasi spot. Like asking once a week or so is okay. Just don't do it more than once a week. Don't make it become nagging. If you know your partner's okay with you asking twice a week and that doesn't seem to be a problem, then you know better. You know your relationship. Just like they're also saying though that you know what nagging is. You know what that is. Like, be careful, because they're saying this is a situation you want to touch base on like every week, every other week, whatever's right for you, because your partner's going to need a time to get a pattern going, and then they're going to have to keep in mind with it. You just keep it, yeah. But like when you do ask it, don't question it. Just ask like, how's it going? Maybe once a week or every other week, or just how's it going? How's that going for you? You bring it back fresh in their mind, and as long as it's not in a stressful way, it's going to go well. Because they got Psychic Protection, they got Study, and they got Justice. This is going their way. Justice is saying this is fairly working out, but Psychic Protection and Study is like they're figuring out the ropes. It's kind of like they're learning how this needs to go. And they're very protective of it, and they're very careful with it. So it's going to take a few months, if not longer, to really get this down. But you just touching base, like, oh, how's that going? That's not bad. That's good. Just be careful. You know what nagging is. That's what I mean. Just be careful. You know what that is. They're telling me, if you're one of the people that message is for, you know exactly what it is, what nagging is. So don't worry about it. If it's kind of like confusing you, or you're like, I don't even know if that's for me or not, don't worry about it. Let it go. Are we good? I feel this is going to work out well. All right. That's a Virgo relationship. Let's do Virgo singles and see what we have for Virgo singles. What do we have for single Virgos? What messages do we have for single Virgos? Messages for single Virgos. What do we have for single Virgos? Messages for single Virgos. What do we have for single Virgos? Messages for single Virgos. Single Virgos. Empowering information for the Virgos who watch to see the truth about what's going on around them. The Knight of Wands is pushing out. Literally just pushed out. Could be a quick in, quick out energy. Let's find out. Yeah, it might be quick in, quick out. And the Knight of Wands comes in at the end. Three of Cups. Somebody likes having a good social time. The King of Cups in the environment. Ironically, the romance card is at the bottom here. I'm getting a lot of cards here telling me, though, that you might not be into this. Just because somebody has feelings for you, just because the King of Cups is here, doesn't mean you want him. I mean, sometimes I've had readings like this before. The King of Cups can show up. The Knight of Cups can even show up. But if you're not interested, that's great, nice, but just because the offer is given to you doesn't mean you want to reciprocate it. Yep, you're getting let go. There's passion. Creativity. Creativity is around this person, this King of Cups, which don't get caught up in the gender. I'm getting a lot of good social connections. I'm getting you have a very good social tie to this person. That's where that Three of Cups seems to be pulling in. This person seems to want you closer to them. They do very much like you. They're very passionate towards you. Literally, the passion card is there. I'm not feeling like this is a thing for you, though. I'm seeing you in the past with the Page of Wands. I feel like you know this person likes you. I feel like you've known it for a while. I just feel like you're trying to let it lie low, and you're just kind of hoping it'll just kind of go on. I just don't feel you engaged to want to go back towards this. I also feel at the same time it's not a door you've shut, but currently, and possibly in the past, you're just like, I'm not feeling the motivation to go towards this person. It doesn't matter if you feel good, bad, or indifferent about who they are. The passion isn't there. You're not drawn to go towards them. And I'm getting here the nine of Wands with that too. Like, how much longer do I want to give this a shot? Like, how much longer do I want to go with this before I let this person know I don't think anything's going to happen here? Because I feel like you're definitely coming to that part where you're like, I don't think so. I just don't think this is for me. You would prefer to just let it kind of dissipate on its own. With the Seven of Swords, you got that in your thoughts, like just kind of letting it just kind of fade off into the distance. Yeah, you know this person likes you, but you're not really showing much reciprocation. You're not really feeling it. And you're hoping they'll just kind of fade off and like get the hint and just you can move on without any feelings being scathed. What I'm actually getting here is this person is keeping a very close eye on you. I hope it's not stalking. It could be internet stalking, though, where they're watching your Facebook page. They are looking for their opportunity to move forward. They definitely want to move forward towards you. With the Ace or with the Page of Swords, I feel like they're watching and they're waiting. With the Passion and the King of Cups in the environment, that person is not really pushing forward too strongly at the moment, or for a while anyway. But they're waiting for their moment. They're looking for the moment where it's right for them to come forward because they already know they like you. It doesn't mean they're good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. You're not. I just don't feel like you're interested. In the center here, if it hasn't happened already, it should happen fairly soon. The Five of Wands happens with the Death card. And I feel like you're not looking, again, you just want to kind of let it dissipate and just go. I do feel like this person does come forward to you face to face. They've been waiting for their moment. If it hasn't happened yet, it will happen soon. they're going to come forward and say, I'd really like to start to see you. I'd like to start going out with you and getting to know you better. I'd like to see if we have a shot at making something more out of our relationship or out of our connection. And I feel like you're just point blank honest with this person. I don't feel like it's mean, but I just feel like you realize this person's been interested for a while. You were hoping it would just kind of dissipate. You don't want to give this person false hope. So I feel like you're telling this person, listen, I think you're okay or a good person, but I'm just not feeling a connection here. I don't really want to pursue anything. I thank you for the interest, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pass. Whatever, you're saying that in your own way. You know what I mean? The Five of Wands, though, is telling me it's not being received very well. And the Death card is telling me this is ending this situation flat out. I feel this person gets really upset because they don't understand why. I feel them trying to bargain with you. I feel like they're accusing you of not giving this a shot. Some people act very poorly to rejection. And it's not like you're trying to be mean. It's just honestly not there. And you're just being honest, like you're not interested. You're just honestly not interested. No offense, but I'm not feeling the draw. I just don't want to do this. Some people act very negatively to that. I remember once years ago, I went on a date, and this person was very into me, and they wanted to go out again, and I just flat out didn't want to, and I didn't want to give this person false hope, so I told them. All of a sudden, this nice person told me about all the things that were wrong with me, and how dare I tell them no. I was lucky that they even went out with me. And I was just kind of like, okay. I just kind of remember standing there kind of stunned, just kind of like, okay. And I just remember, like, when I finally got away from that person, thinking, thank God that happened now rather than later. But you might have I feel like the reason we're bringing that story forward, even though it's from my life, is, these things happen. I don't remember really reacting to it much. I just kind of was like, oh, okay. And I just kind of I didn't feel like there was a need to say anything back. I just kind of it was at the end of the situation anyway, so we went our separate ways. And I thought to myself, ooh, good thing. Dodged that bullet. Good thing I didn't go any farther with that. Because I felt that said a lot about that person. That's all I'm saying. I didn't feel bad about it either, quite frankly. I didn't. They felt like they told me off, but I thought to myself they were just validating maybe why I didn't have those feelings, because they were not a match for me. The Ten of Swords happens with the let go. I'm getting this is not a fun ending. I just don't feel like they take it well. I don't feel like they take it well at all. At all. But it's done. That's that. I don't feel like you're willing to really even give them any more time. I don't feel like they're going to approach you again, quite frankly. Is that true? Or are they going to... No, I don't feel like they're going to. I do feel like you have friends in common, though. That for a lot of you, I feel like you have connections in common. Maybe there's a work connection. That'd be very uncomfortable. And you got the Nine of Swords with the best possible decision. It's kind of like... I feel like the way you're looking at it is like, I should have nipped this in the bud in the very beginning. I didn't feel it in the very beginning, and I should have said something. And I feel like you're kind of beating yourself up a little bit. Like, I shouldn't have let it just go as long as it did. I was just trying to give it a chance, and it just seemed like it was the bad thing to do. This person got the wrong idea. And what I'm getting here is I feel you beating yourself up for something that you need not beat yourself up for. They're saying that the way this worked out is fine. Like, you gave this person an honest shot, and you just said the truth. I don't feel like you should be feeling bad, but I feel like you are anyway. But I have a feeling it's something to do with the connection you have with this person after you've shut the door. Because I just feel like it's uncomfortable after this. Especially if you work with this person. You're just kind of like, oh my God, I should have nipped this in the bud. I should have nipped this in the bud. I feel people doing that. So if you're connecting with this, there's some form of regret. Like, I should have nipped this in the bud at the very beginning. I don't feel like that holds on too long. I feel you more kind of evolving to the next stage of like, you know what, it is what it is and I have to move on, and just kind of ignoring it. I'm getting the Knight of Wands with the Study card. I literally feel you just ignoring the situation and pretending it never happened. Quickly moving on and just concentrating your efforts elsewhere, quickly concentrating your efforts elsewhere with the study card. I don't feel like they're just saying don't hold in that moment for long. I don't feel like you did anything wrong, quite frankly. If you find yourself beating yourself up for it, just just get involved in something else, concentrate in something else, and go that direction. Just don't let it beat you up. Because I feel like soon enough you are. Ironically for you, the Knight of Wands is saying you're moving on quickly. It wasn't much, you weren't really connected to this person anyway. You didn't invest in this person. What you're moving on quickly from is the rude moment, because I feel like they were rude to you. And you're just like, you know what, I can't afford to hold on to that. It doesn't matter. We're done. There's no connection here. Bye. And you're just centering on something else. Even if this person is around you or you have to work with this person, I feel like you're literally negating it out like it didn't happen. You're just like shut the door, like, yep, they had their moment, we're done. I don't even feel like you're talking about it after this. You're going in a different direction. They're saying that's the best course of action. Just move on like it didn't happen. Because I don't feel you like emotionally damaged from this, if that makes sense. I don't feel, whatever this person did, even if it was in a public place and you were embarrassed for maybe 5 minutes, I just feel like it didn't have a long enough time period to really cause any damage with you. It was maybe embarrassing or uncomfortable. But when you moved on, afterwards you're just kind of like, I have to work with this person. They're just like, just let it go. Just pretend it didn't happen and just keep going like everything's normal. And I feel like the other person will follow suit. And you can both act like nothing happened. I feel like after the fact, they want to act like nothing happened too. So it's fine. Done? Alright, I think we're there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.